Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to this week's episode of the You Unlimited podcast. I'm so grateful that you're here. We're going to be talking about how to build your business in alignment with your soul so that you don't want to burn it to the ground and so that you can actually make money doing the things that you desire most. Because if you're tuned into this podcast, I am positive you have a movement on your heart. There are things that you're wanting to amplify, you're wanting to bring into the world, into the planet that is going to leave the planet a better place. And it's all about starting to tune into how did my soul come here to uniquely build the movement that I came here to build? And how can I utilize by leaning into this movement? How can I then be prosperous through that experience so that I can say yes to everything that's in alignment with my soul? So, this is about really getting into alignment all the way across the board with business, with abundance, with all of these things that you desire to lean into that are so unique to you. How can you start to tune into that? And what was coming through specifically around this was I have some medicine around, and by medicine, I mean there was a moment in time when my launch strategy was not going well. And I'm going to share with you the medicine that I learned from that experience because there was a moment in time when I launched something for 6 months and I made $300 doing it. And the $300 came from my mother because she felt bad for me and she was just like, okay, here's money, just like, I love you. And I was just like, oh my God, what is happening? But the beauty of that happening, because this was when I was first starting to launch, and I was like, okay, I want to hire a mentor that is doing the thing that I want to do. So, what was happening, and here's the medicine that I learned from building a business now that's in alignment with my soul, but having these failed, quote unquote, failed launches, what I learned was it was very interesting. I was essentially hiring the mentor that had the quote unquote success that I wanted. But the issue with that was I was taking her word as gospel. And I was essentially saying, okay, if she built it this way and she has this result, then I must need to build it this way in order to get that result. And so what was happening was I was losing my authenticity, my voice, the way that I desired to build. I wasn't feeling excited about the way that I was launching. It felt really heavy, and that was being translated into the people that were then seeing my content, that were seeing my videos, that were seeing me talk about the offer because I wasn't fully in alignment with it. And so that is going to repel people from leaning into your offer, right? If you're doing things just because someone else did it that way, if it's not in alignment with you, meaning it doesn't feel good, it feels heavy, it's going to do one of two things. One, it's not going to be successful. You're not going to make money doing the thing because ultimately your energy is not aligned with it. So you're going to be repelling people in another direction. Or it's going to be successful, but you're going to want to burn your business to the ground at some point because you have now essentially built someone else's business, right? You're taking all of the different information from everyone else and you're saying, this is gospel. This is the way that we need to lean in. This is the way that I have to lean in. Now you're building someone else's business in real time. So, do you want to continue to show up for it? So, it's actually really powerful to say, okay, let me tune into my current launch strategy. Let me tune into the way that I built my business. Does it feel like it's in alignment with my soul? Do I want to continue to show up in this way? Or do I feel exhausted by what I've now built? And now, do I need to shift something? Right. And none of it is right or wrong, but it's the beauty of starting to really tune in and saying, how can I begin to actually shift what's no longer in alignment with me, my soul, and how I came here to build? So, what is really powerful is starting to really tune into how did you come here uniquely to build the thing that you came here to build? And I've done that in one of two ways. One, tapping into my intuition, starting to get really clear on what is it that my body, mind, and spirit are desiring to tell me. And then also learning how to channel. And by channeling, I mean channeling message from your highest self, channeling messages from your angels and guides, channeling messages from the universe on what God wants to move through you for the collective, right? The second I started to channel and really tune into what does my highest self want me to know? What does God, source, universe want to move through me versus connecting to what everyone else thought I should do or thinking that was the only template to build. That is when my success started to really amplify. That is when I started to actually get a lot of momentum leaning into the things that I desired most because I loved to do it, because that was magnetic, because people were like, I want to play with her on that playground. She's loving it. Like when we think about playing with people on the playground, do we want to play with the people that are having fun regardless of whether or not we're there? Or do we want to play with the person that's kind of like, please play with me, please? Like, hi, I'm over here, please, please. That energy doesn't feel good to play with, right? So be really crystal clear on the energy that you're in when you're launching something. And the way that you can get really tuned in to, am I launching this in a way that feels like it's in alignment with my soul, is tuning into your intuition. I'm going to share with you the top 3 ways to start to really tune into your intuition. But also, I want to teach you how to channel. So I actually created this entire masterclass on how to channel, how to connect with your angels and guides, how to connect with your highest self, so that you can figure out exactly how to move forward with the launch, with the business strategy, with what to name it, with what to price it, right? If you start to do that, then the power of that is going to be you're building something that's in alignment with your soul. So that's something I want to gift to you. So if you want to start to lean into channeling, better understanding what your highest self wants to build, what you came here specifically to build, what God Source Universe wants to move through you, then drop down into the show notes. I 10 out of 10 recommend. This is a masterclass that people actually paid to lean into, and I want to gift it to you by being in this space. So this is my gift to you. If you're listening to this, absolutely drop down into the show notes and get that free masterclass, because that was this is a lifetime skill that you can bring into every single thing that you do, but especially in business. If you do it from a soul-led perspective, your business will amplify without you doing anything else but having more joy, right? You're going to follow the intuitive pings, you're going to take inspired action, but you're going to feel more and more joy every single day. And that will absolutely, undoubtedly call on the people that are most meant to play with you on the playground. So, with that in mind, I also want you to tune into how do I better understand my intuition? How do I know when something's in alignment with me and I want to launch it in that way? So there's a couple things that I do when I'm starting to tune into my intuition that I want to gift to you in this space as well. So, one of the things that I like to do is when I'm really in my head about my launch, I like to drop down into my body. And what I mean by that is I want you to tune into whether something feels expansive or constricting when it comes to launching something. So, my most successful launches have been the ones where I say, I've told myself if it feels heavy, I'm going to put it down just as a way of testing to see if this worked as a launch strategy. And it undoubtedly did, because people were like, I want to play with her. Like, and what I mean, I'll give you a tactical example. So it was like I was launching something new and it was midnight one night. And I remember thinking, oh, I should send out that email. I need to be doing that thing because that's what other successful people do. And I remember thinking, man, but I'm so tired. I don't want to send out this email. And so I remembered what I vowed to do, which was if it feels heavy, put it down. And so what I did was I didn't send out the email, and instead I had all the energy the next day to go face to camera to say, I'm going to create reels, to jump into my stories, because that felt soul aligned for me. I wanted to lean in that direction. And that was that was my most successful launch to date at that point. And then I kept amplifying that energy every time I've launched something new. So if it feels expansive, lean into it. If it feels constricting, put it down. Just play with that for a little bit in life, and also especially in your launch strategy. Another thing that you can do when you're starting to really tune into your intuition is to start to do something that I like to call the sway. So you can use your body as a pendulum. And so the way that I use my body as a pendulum is essentially I will just stand equal parts left and right on my feet, and I will ask my body yes or no questions. It's a way of muscle testing to say, what I will do is I will go ahead and ask it yes or no questions that I know the answer to first. So this is you acclimating to your pendulum. So I will ask it things like, my name is Christina, and I will see how my body sways. Because my name is Christina, and because of the way that I've learned how to kind of dial this in, for me, when that's true, my body sways forward. Then I will ask it a no question, such as, I live in New York City, and my body specifically will flow backwards, right? It falls backwards. So now I'm acclimated to my personalized yes and no. Yours could be the opposite, but this is why you're testing it before you ask any questions. So figure out how your body moves when the answer is yes and when the answer is no. And what you're going to do from there is then utilize your body as a pendulum to ask things like, should I price my offer as XYZ? Is it for my highest good and the highest good of all those connected to me? To price my offer between this and this, right? And then you can start to narrow it down. Now, another thing that I love to do too, when I'm really stuck in my head about something, is I like to actually flip a coin. And here's what I mean by that. So, when I'm tuning into my intuition around something like a business launch and things of that nature, what I will do is I will actually flip a coin and I will say, if it lands on heads, it's this. If it lands on tails, it's this. I flip the coin and then I tune into what is my guttural response to what the coin is telling me. Not what is the coin telling me. It is what is my guttural response to what it's telling me. So, for instance, if I say, I want to go to Spain tomorrow, right? If I flip the coin and it lands on heads, I'm going to Spain. If I flip the coin, it lands on tails, I'm staying home, right? So, there are moments in time where I'm like, I absolutely want to fly to Spain. Like that sounds amazing. I want to explore. That sounds so much fun. And there are moments in time where I'm like, I just want to be at home. I just want to be in my bed. I just want to snuggle like my family, right? And so it's about knowing your energy is going to shift a little bit. Maybe on paper you think, "Oh, I should be going to Spain or I should be staying at home. Mom guilt is dropping in." So anyways, you flip the coin. What is your guttural response when you see the answer? Is it, oh, thank goodness, I get to stay home, I get to go to Spain? That is your intuition telling you things about your life. And I use that in business too. So these are just little ways that you start to tune into your soul, how you came here to build the thing that you uniquely came here to build. But I also 10 out of 10 recommend tuning into and starting to remember how to channel. So if you want to start to lean into learning how to channel even more, again, drop down into the links in my show notes. This is a masterclass that people paid for to receive, but I want to gift it to you for free for being in this space so that you can really amplify that energy around what does God Source Universe want to move through you specifically. So, with that, I'm sending you so much light and love. I cannot wait to see what happens when you start to tune into your soul and the way that you meant to build your business even more. And with that, I'm sending you the biggest virtual hug. And until next time. Mwah.